Hi, Ina.
Hi, you okay? So I've set up live YouTube for this. Hopefully we should be ready soon. Okay.
Okay, I was just looking at sharing the screen.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
I need to make you co-host. Okay.
Oh, not this one. Okay, so okay, I think we are set up, right? So should I hang in here, or maybe can I come in few minutes?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. I'll see you shortly. Bye bye.
You okay, Farah?
All good. How are you, Dr. Inam?
Good, good. So we've got YouTube on, and
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
recording for them. So
Great.
Pranita's been on. She's just gonna come back in a couple of minutes, and then we'll start. I think.
No worries. Thank
I'll man the numbers and things like that. Want me to bring people in now, or
How many people are already
uh,
in the waiting room?
at the moment only one?
Okay, yeah, yeah. Just let them join. It's
Yeah,
fine.
cool.
Hello, guys.
Hi, Pranita. It's Farah. Just waiting for a few more people to join, and then we'll get started. Okay. Thank
That's
you.
fine. Hi.
Thank
Nice to
you.
meet you.
I love this background you're using.
Yes.
It's very serene.
Thank you.
No
Oh,
worries.
wow. Where are you? It's quite sunny over there.
It's not. It's just a room with quite a bright window.
Lucky you. Lucky you. So how we are, I have presentation. So should I be presenting first?
Yeah, so if you just give it another 5 minutes, if that's okay, and we'll just wait for a few more people to join. We're also live on YouTube.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so people can join from there. So we will start soon. I'll do an introduction and then you can start your presentation. I'm really looking forward to your talk.
Thank you. I'll stop video for right now, and
Okay.
then in a couple of minutes we can start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fabulous. Same here.
I
Thank
think.
you. Bye. Hi, Louise. Thank you for joining. We're just giving it a few more minutes and then we'll get started if that's okay. Just waiting for more people. Perfect. Thank you.
Do you need to pop me on mute? I'm ringing off my phone and I'm not sure where mute is.
Yeah, sure. Don't worry about it. I'll put you on mute. Thanks,
need
Louise.
Thank you.
No Hi everyone, we'll get started if that's okay, so we don't kind of run over time. Thank you all for joining. We're also live on YouTube so people can see from there. So we'll have a live discussion at the end, and I'd just like to begin by welcoming Pranita and thanking her for her time to do this session for us. And it'll be I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll just start off by introducing you, Pranita, if that's okay. Would you? Perfect. So Pranita for 2 decades has been working as an occupational therapist and preventative cardiology specialist within the NHS. She's assisted many people in healthcare, both in treating and preventing diseases. However, since she lost her maternal uncle and cousin due to diabetes and complications of diabetes, this personal experience made her realize the real pain patients and their family members face when facing such illnesses, and how important it is to have mental, emotional wellness, healthy lifestyle disciplines, as well as connection with yourself and your loved ones. This personal loss inspired her to start Pranita Vitality, which is a website. We'll give you the link at the end and you can all go and check it out. And she's got a few books that she's published as well. Pranita Vitality is a lifestyle transformation service where she helps individuals achieve a healthy and happy heart that beats for longer. She's recently published a book, as I mentioned. It's called Vitality, Healthy and Happy Hearts, 3 Keys for Sustained Weight Loss, Type 2 Diabetes Control and Stress Management, which was praised by eminent healthcare professionals, including professors in cardiology. She looks forward to sharing inspirations and tips with you all and how you can take small steps to make a big difference to your overall health and well-being. Thank you so much, Pranita. You can begin whenever you wish to, and we'll do a question and answer at the end.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Farzana, for that warm introduction, and thank you to Dr. Inam for inviting me for this webinar. I am excited to share a few insights with you, which I learned over the past decade or so. So, warm welcome to all of you once again. If it is okay, I would share my screen with you.
I'd just like to say this session is being recorded and also live streamed in YouTube. I hope that's okay with everyone. We'll also put this session on our YouTube channel at the end. We will not include the discussion, so it's a safe space to discuss if you wish to come on and ask any personal questions at the end. Thank you.
Yeah, and at the end, if you don't feel comfortable in speaking during the discussion, you are more than welcome to have a conversation with me in private after the talk. So, healthy weight journey after lockdown. When we think about healthy weight, it is very important that we think beyond the numbers on the scale. But let's just start by setting an intention, because I believe intention, like Dr. Deepak Chopra mentions, it has infinite organizing power. And my intention with this talk is to inspire you to lead a positive, healthy lifestyle. So take few moments, take deep breath in and out, and set an intention that you'll be engaging with my communication with open heart and open mind. I'll give you a few seconds. So as we progress, thank you, Dr. Farzana, again, as shared what my background is. Again, I've recently published a book from my experience of working with people, which help them to lose up to 5 stones of weight, type 2 diabetes control, and journey into happiness and getting rid of chronic stress. And some of the success stories are really warmed my heart as I worked with them. For example, this lady who successfully lost 3 stones in matter of 4 months, and then further loss of 2 stones. So altogether 5 stones weight loss in matter of 8 months. And importantly, they were sustained and it reversed all her chronic metabolic conditions. So this story is to inspire you that this is, if you are looking for healthy weight journey, that this is something possible for you. So I would like to ask you, or rather have the conversation in your mind, why the global pandemic has increased the health issues, especially weight gain. Global pandemic, lockdown and quarantine regulations have created undesirable side effects, mainly social isolation and anxiety. For families, the pressure is even more, and balancing responsibility of homeschooling, being parent, fulfilling other important roles have become a juggling act. And for even single people or people adult without young families, the pressure is huge. Pressure on time and capability has created stress in our body, mind, and as a result, we are becoming victim of emotional eating. Eating beyond the need to satisfy real hunger, real physiological hunger. To comfort, stress relief, and just as a reward after a hard-working day. And does following scene sound familiar to you? It's been stressful day at work, back-to-back Zoom meetings. The kids have been acting up all the day with added pressure of homeschooling. You and your partner are arguing for the house chores. How do you deal with it? Exhausted, right? I have been there. Maybe gobbling extra few cookies or reaching for the crisp or savories or even extra servings of your home cooked food while numbing in front of the television. Or maybe indulging on wine or two, dessert or two every day of the week. And lockdown or no lockdown, most of us, including me and many of my clients and as well as clinicians I spoke with, have been big victim of this emotional eating at some point or other. And lockdown has increased its significance. So, coronavirus and mental health, why emotional eating and weight gain has been more prominent during this pandemic? I think we as a globe are suffering mental health issues because of the side effects of pandemic. The coronavirus mental health in the pandemic study provides unique insight into the mental health effects of the pandemic since mid-March, which is focused on purely on mental health and well-being. The data shows 62% of adults in the UK have felt anxious or worried during this pandemic, especially wave 1. During third wave, their data analyzed that almost 4 in 10 people, that's 38%, said eating too much has become their way to cope. The next wave 6 analysis was really worrying because 10% of overall UK's adult population confirmed that they were experiencing suicidal thoughts of some nature. And you can see the grave significance of stress, anxiety, and depression on physical health as well as our lifestyle choices. And this data is confirmed by by Office of National Statistics, which says that almost 1 in 5 adults were experiencing some form of depression during pandemic, almost doubling this stat that 1 in 10 before the pandemic. So this data that mental health affects your lifestyle choices is not surprising, because we human are social animal in essential nature. We thrive like our ancient tribes. We thrive on community gathering, connecting with another human being, and that's important for our well-being. I hope you agree. Anyone disagree? Just raise your hand up. So why this emotional eating and psychological health signify? Because when there is a mind-body spirit disconnect, which means your mind is operating on autopilot while your body is unconsciously consuming food, and it is not bothered about what nourishment you're getting from the food or what the environment you're just sitting. Either you're sitting in front of TV or on the bed, lying on the bed or sofa and eating chips. It doesn't care, because your mind and your body, there is a disconnect. And sadly, emotional eating doesn't fix the root problem. On the contrary, after you indulge in that cookie, dessert, or wine, often you feel guilty that you don't have powerful will. So why controlling weight is relevant? Why it is important? In a sense, it affects our cardiovascular disease system. And recent COVID pandemic has shown that it's important on immunity as well. Unhealthy lifestyle and stress triggers the chronic inflammatory processes in our body, which leads to development of type 2 diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and ultimately cardiovascular diseases like heart attack, stroke, and even certain forms of lifestyle-related cancer. The government body, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, informs us that uncontrolled chronic diseases, including obesity and type 2 diabetes, are high risk factor for getting serious infection and even dying from COVID-19. Recent mortality data from both combined Johns Hopkins University and the WHO Global Health Observatory confirmed that COVID-19 death rates were 10 times higher in the countries where more than half of the adult population is classified as overweight. And you may notice that UK has high prevalence of overweight, 63.7. And therefore, UK was ranked third highest death rate globally. In his book on 21-day immunity plan, Dr. Asim Malhotra states that real pandemic is not COVID-19, but metabolic health. That is overweight, obesity. And I totally agree. So witnessing the death rates, the complications, and huge strain on both NHS on national level and financial strain on global level, you may agree with me that prevention is better than cure for both cardiovascular diseases as well as metabolic conditions. So with the availability of so much information, weight loss clinic, diabetes clinics, weight loss pills, supplements, as well as a lot of information on the net, why we are not able to cut the weight loss rate and it's still increasing year after year after year. Because I believe weight loss is not only calorie in and calorie out. There are many thinking and behavioral mistakes that lead to weight issues, such as habits, cultural and environmental influences, unawareness, giving power to the higher authority, information overload, and just Googling rather than seeking the right support. And sometimes with that information overload, feeling that you're crippled to take actions and just being frozen. But important mistake is blaming the genes and not taking the personal responsibility. It is very easy to say, oh, my family is overweight. Oh, my family has certain chronic conditions. So I'm doomed to have those conditions. I'm doomed to not to be able to lose weight effectively and maintain that weight because it's in my genes, it's in my blood. But my friends, I have to disagree upon that. Although genes are important contributing factor, and people from specific ethnicity likely to have certain conditions, for example, Asian, East Indian, Native American, Pacific Islander, Middle Eastern descent have higher risk of being insulin resistant, setting the stage for obesity and being overweight. Yet, even if you're carrying this defective gene, you must not feel powerless. You're only predisposed, not predestined for developing lifestyle related conditions. What I mean? Well, evidences from genetic and epigenetic and twin studies have confirmed that our thoughts, our environment, and our lifestyle behavior can influence which of our genes can get turned on and which of them can get turned off. In other words, if you are carrying a specific genes, for example, for overweight, and if you choose a positive lifestyle, including all element holistic lifestyle, then there are higher chances that you will remain healthy. So excuse of it's all in genes creates limiting belief. And that limiting belief stops you from creates disempowerment and stops you from leading a positive habits. In fact, it leads to overindulgent into not so conductive habits for your weight loss journey or healthy body journey. So stop that thought, stop any limitation that it's not under your control. Although destiny is not in our control, we have power to influence positively or negatively how our life's journey will move on or implement. So let's move on. Now we learn how important it is to change positive into positive lifestyle, to focus on healthy weight and controlling our metabolic health. What we can do? Well, there are many things we can do, but for simplicity and purpose of this talk, I'll focus on three concepts, which has worked with many of my clients and myself to lose weight. I have been overweight as my teens, as well as after delivery. I stayed overweight for a couple of years until and unless I shift in psychology and made some changes, some of which we will be discussing here. So number one is remove. So again, in the current world of information overload, various research is showing new diet techniques, everyday emerging diet shake supplements. People are becoming very confusing. What methods we should adopt, what diet style we should take. Maybe we should have cabbage diet, maybe we should have Atkins diet, maybe paleo. And it is truly, in truth, it's really confusing. But I believe we have to ask ourselves, not what we can add, but what we can eliminate. How we can create the space so that the right nutrition can nourishes us. So unless and until you take this first step, any dietitian, any diet advice in the whole world will be futile, because you will be creating more and more toxins within your body. As Marie Kondo, famous author of Spark Joy, says that if you want to surround it by a positive environment, you have to first eliminate what are the things that does not spark joy. So taking that analogy into your nourishment, healthy eating principle, what are the things which are creating stress, creating inflammation within your body? First and foremost, you have to eliminate that. So what are they? Analyze, think about your eating style last week or so. Any processed food, packaged food, whites, simple sugar, ready-made food on the shelf. What they do, they have processed trans fat. They have chemicals that increases sugar, insulin in your body, that creates inflammation, and all these factors creates obesity, an environment that is conducive for overweight and obesity. So imagine you're thirsty and you want to drink clean, pure water, and there is a glass in front of you with full of gulk. What is the first step you would do? You'll throw out all the gulk, clean it, and then fill it with the nourishing water. In the same way, first step, your body's as a glass, clean out all the processed food from your system, and then cleansing, and then nourishment. So next step. So my question for you again, before moving on to next step, think of your pantry and see what are the packaged processed sugar whites are present there, and are you ready to remove them? If yes, that's great. If not, ask why. So next step is replace. Of all the people I've worked with who got immense success, like losing weight of 5 stones, pre-diabetes, diabetes control, type 2 diabetes control, I never advocate them calorie restriction, counting calories, or focusing on a specific diet, because diet as a term is very restrictive. And as long as you last willpower, your diet, that particular diet will last. As soon as the life struggle hits you, you slide onto the slope and your motivation gets loose. So instead, think of food as an enjoyment, as a positive experience. First step, when you removed all the processed food, all the artificial food, then you will have space and energy and enthusiasm to take the nourishment from the proper food. And what's the proper food? Well, eating plenty of fruits, vegetable, whole grains, legumes, healthy proteins, and fats from oily fish, olive oils, nuts. All of these components are essential part of Mediterranean diet for centuries. And various studies worldwide have shown the protective effect of strict Mediterranean diet against cardiovascular diseases, cancers, and Alzheimer's diseases. A significant hallmark study which from adherence to Mediterranean diet and survival in Greek population had shown a 75% reduction in dying from all causes, including cardiovascular diseases, cancer, among people who ate diet with high Mediterranean score as opposed to those who ate with low Mediterranean score. And fibers from fruits and vegetable provides prebiotic, giving diverse gut flora, improving our digestion, immunity, and overall health. Also, anti-aging properties from the antioxidants we consume from fresh fruits and vegetable. So I hope that has inspired you with these two principles: remove and replace. What you can take out on what you can eat rather than what kind of diet. But I would like to share one principle of eating or eating pattern principle that may help you to in your weight loss journey. It's called intermittent fasting. And many traditional cultures, including like, for example, Ramadan is coming, and Ramadan, as well as ancient Indian Ayurvedic culture, promotes the importance of fasting for spiritual development, for healing. And it's only now that ancient science is coming up with the evidences behind the fasting. And I'm sure you may have experienced the benefit of fasting if you are doing if you are doing the fasting for your religious reason or just for health reason. So according to 2014 review of scientific literature, intermittent fasting can cause weight loss of up to 8% over only 3 to 24 weeks. And this is a good amount, huge amount, in fact, just by changing the eating pattern. And people also lost the weight around their belly, up to 7% waist circumferences. And we all know how important is the belly fat reduction to our improvement in metabolic health. So how we can do the intermittent fasting? And first of all, why it works? Because it influences two hormones. One, growth hormone. It stimulates growth hormone, and growth hormone is responsible for muscle production, improving metabolic rate, and fat burning. Secondly, it influences or reduces insulin production. So the windows in between where you're not eating, the insulin is not released into your system. And when there is no insulin, our fat cell can push the sugar into the bloodstream for actual energy burning. So more window you have, more space you give between the food, or during the 2 days time, you will have better insulin sensitivity. And intermittent fasting has been shown to have major benefit on insulin resistance and lead to impressive reduction in blood sugar level. Fasting blood sugar has been reduced by 3 to 6%, while fasting insulin has been reduced by 20 to 31%. That's big. So how you can do? In simple form, it's 16 hours fast and 8 hours feed. But when you are shifting from 5 meals a day to intermittent fasting, it's not advisable to do it drastically. Do it slowly. Start with 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and make sure there are good healthy fats such as avocado, olive oil, and healthy nuts involved, so that you are getting the satiety level. And 8 hours, and slowly go into this 16 to 8 hours window. However, a caution: any changes you are going to make, if you are suffering from any metabolic health condition, I think it's very important that you seek professional help, especially let your GP, let your practitioner know what changes you're making, and make sure they are happy with those changes. And lastly, you may surprise what I will be sharing with you in terms of weight loss. Well, first was remove, second was replace, and third is regenerate. And regenerate with the right connection, with positive connection. Robert Waldinger, director of the study of the psychiatrist at Massachusetts General Hospital and professor of psychiatry at Harvard Medical School, says that our relationships and how happy we are in that relationship influences how healthy we will be in long term. And although not very well researched, this component, I believe the Mediterranean diet has strong influence or strong component that you be physically active and enjoy meals with each other. And you can see so many people in Greek community, in Italy, in Spain, that regular communication or having dinner and meal, sharing meal is the important factor for their health and their well-being. And I think even for many Asian cultures, this has been for centuries, but we have lost the track over the period of time. It's time to regain that connection. And I have had this experience during Ramadan. I grew up in India, and we were invited for iftar, which is like a fast breaking ceremony for my best friend when I was like maybe 4, 5 to 7 years of age. And we had a lot of fun sharing meal with my best friend and their family. And in fact, we were so happy that we used to get 25p for the Ramadan to celebrate, and just enough money during those days to buy the goodies. So going beyond, but importantly, going beyond this festival period, we are in the UK. We are not living in ancient, like we are not living in Mediterranean countries or in Asia. Ask yourself how you can use this concept of connection and cultivating meaningful connection, especially during the mealtime, breaking the bread with your colleague, perhaps inviting friends and family for dinner. It will be hard in the beginning because the mindset is shifted to social isolation, to be with yourself, having the space. But that space is creating space in everyone else. So, so ask yourself how you can create this meaningful connection, especially around the meal times. I think we are coming at the end of our conversation, and I shared these 3 techniques after we gone through the importance of healthy weight. But there is, of course, more to healthy weight and improving metabolic condition. And I have a specific model which I work with, which includes healthy eating, exercises, other lifestyle elements, just sleep, hormone, digestion, but it also have the mindset component and emotional wellness. Importantly, it has connection with others and connection with yourself, knowing your unique values, your beliefs, your intrinsic values, your beliefs, your meaning and purpose of your life. All when mind, body, spirit are in harmony, then you can actually get the great results, and including weight loss, like including the result I'm sharing over here, just in a matter of 3 months, heart age improvement from 67 to 53, pre-diabetes removed, lost over a stone, and cholesterol levels come down 27%. But it's not only that, it's about the sustainability, and it's about how you feel inside your body that matters. And that is not only done by counting calorie and diet and exercises. It's all about mind, body, and spirit principle. So I hope you enjoyed this session. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in a moment. But as Dr. Fazana said, that I have this book on healthy and happy heart, 3 keys for sustained weight loss, type 2 diabetes control, and stress management. You can get that on Amazon. And on my website, there are lots of free resources, such as this book, which is Guide to Weight Loss and Improve Immunity. You can just go to pranitavitality.com and download, like, there are 4 or 5 resources, as well as meditation. Meditation has been huge part of my own personal transformation and that of my clients. So you will get a lot of videos on my website. So if you have any specific questions other than what we will be discussing here, you can always have a conversation with me. Just email me pranitavitality@gmail.com, or book a conversation with me on this Calendly. And I would love for you to share your feedback on this talk and join me on my social media, which is YouTube and LinkedIn, Pranita Salunke. So as we come to the end of our conversation, how bright is the future among this global pandemic, among metabolic rate increased? Well, without waving a magic wand and to tell you some random stats, it is wise to say that if we can take personal responsibility to create our better metabolic health, we will not only reduce our weight, improve our immunity to tackle nasty viruses such as COVID-19, but we would also improve quality of our life, bring lightness in our body, clarity in our mind, and compassion in our heart. And that, my friend, we will create a better world for our future generation to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pranita, for that insightful talk. I really enjoyed it and learned so much. We have a few questions in the chat. If you wouldn't mind answering them, would that be okay?
Yes, perfect. I'll stop this share.
Perfect. Thank you. So I'll just ask the first question. Just give me 1 second. I'm just viewing the chat. So we have a question. Have you personally found following a healthy lifestyle more difficult during the pandemic, and how have you coped with this yourself? From Fazana.
Yeah. Thank you, Fazana, for that question. Yes, I did find sustaining healthy lifestyle more difficult, especially because of the social isolation, and fear, because my family lives in India, my dad and my brother. So there is this thought of their concern for their health and well-being, as well as not able to go there. And here, I, as a single mother, I find it like, when not many people to interact with. So the way I coped with it is to let go. Basically, initially I was stressed. I was stress eating, I would be honest. And then it affected my sleep. And as you may know, that compromised sleep is a huge risk factor for depression. and that really started affecting me. So becoming aware. So of course, I went through some time of difficulty, but then I stopped myself with the meditation, because I think meditation has helped me in several times during my life. And even this time, meditation helped me to become aware what's happening around me. It gave me the space to heal, to reflect. And then for a period of time, I just focused on self-care and creating space for me and my family, my son, and making sure that I'm eating, there are no processed food in my home, because when something is in front of me, it's easy to indulge on it. I hope that's helpful. So meditation, awareness, and cutting down stuff.
That was very helpful. I think we've all suffered from stress eating during this pandemic, haven't we? Just given the fact that we're spending more time at home, lack of routine, and just kind of, just staying at home and stressing about what's on the news. So thank you for that insight. I've got another question for you, Pranita, if that's okay. So the question is from Priya Ahmed, and the question is, what do you feel would benefit or motivate South Asian individuals to adopt a healthier diet in terms of changing health behavior?
South Asian individual to adopt a healthier, okay, the motivation level for the South Asian is we are 10 times more at risk of metabolic conditions than the other Caucasians. So we are more susceptible, as I shared, that our genetic predisposition is for more insulin resistance and therefore obesity, overweight, and other conditions. So if we know that we are more susceptible, yet we are adopting a modern lifestyle. So that modern lifestyle will affect the Caucasian and the other culture less as compared to us, as compared to South Asian. So if you want to lead a healthy lifestyle, or if you want to improve your quality and quantity of life, and knowing that we are genetically more predisposed, I think that should be a motivating factor high enough to make changes. Does that help, Priya?
I'm not sure if Priya is able to answer, but that was really useful. Thank you so much.
Yes.
We've got a few more questions, if that's okay. We're getting plenty. So one of the questions is from Saida, and she's asked, do you find taking supplements such as multivitamins, iron tablets, etc., beneficial to the body?
Yes, Saida, I think that's a great question, and that's a huge controversy all the time. And usually in the regenerate part of my my talk, and friends, you are more than welcome to come on the camera and discuss with me. I would be more than happy to speak to you in front as well. But coming back to your question, Saida, yes, I think because of our quality of nutrient level in our soil has been vastly reduced as opposed to a couple of decades or centuries back, we are experiencing, although we are eating the good quality food, so-called, unless we are taking organic and we are taking in high amount, we are not receiving the right nutrient. So sometimes it becomes very important, especially certain nutrient, for example, vitamin D. As a South Asian in living in Western countries with a lack of sunshine, we are more susceptible for vitamin D deficiency, and therefore susceptible for immune conditions. It's wise to test your nutrient level and take the right supplement. A lot of supplements usually have the coating and that coating is full of chemical, that could be full of chemicals. So the source of supplement is really important. So make your research. First of all, find out which nutrition deficiency you are experiencing, and then get the supplement from the right source with no chemicals and the organic one.
Thank you. So would you suggest more kind of supplementing these so iron, etc., from your diet rather than taking supplements? So that would be better. Would you say that?
I wouldn't say necessarily that. When the supplements become necessary, that you are usually deficient in particular supplement, and sometimes you may have to eat huge amount of food which is not necessarily supporting your system digestion. So first of all, you need to know, you need to work with your GP to test it out. And then if you, for after a period of time, if you can't do it with the food, then you may need to do it with the right supplement. And again, the supplement, the risk factor for the supplement is chemicals, huge chemicals. So you need to ensure that you are taking it from the right source. But I do take supplements, and I believe it has helped me in a huge effect as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, Pranita. And just from before Priya's question, she said thank you, and that was very helpful. And Saida said from her question about the supplements, that was really an interesting point about the soil. Thank you for your response. And Louise has sent a lovely thank you message for an insightful talk. And she's also asked a question, if that's okay. How do you test for your nutrition levels?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Louise, for your positive feedback. I would be really, I'm really grateful for your positive feedback. If it is okay, if you can put that on my LinkedIn, I would be, again, grateful. But anyway, you asked this question, how do you test for your nutrition level? Now, it's very tricky because in NHS practice, it's not routinely done. If am I right, Dr.?
Yeah, it's not.
It's not. So, but I think I believe, again, the prevention is better than cure. So if our body is a vehicle, you take a car for the servicing, right? You invest the money. So thinking about our body as a vehicle, and it's an investment, it may be a good idea to seek a private practitioner who does the testing. If your doctors, if your GPs are not able to provide that for very right reasons, because of the huge strain on NHS already. But if you are inspired to lead a proactive approach of your health, rather than going into the illness, you're cultivating wellness, then yes, I think it's a good investment, small investment. You can seek some private practitioners or private labs who does the testing.
What does a nutritional level testing involve? Is it just a simple blood test?
Yes.
Okay. And would you ever suggest for someone to get like an intolerance test? Because lots of people suffer from IBS, for example, but a lot of that is dietary habits.
Yes, dietary as well as the psychological stress. So, and it's a vicious cycle. Both psychological stress do contribute to the dietary habits, intolerances, and like as I shared my model with you earlier, with everyone, digestion and elimination is the huge part of my model. So there is no point in creating the healthy eating pattern, any lifestyle plan before tackling digestion and elimination. as you may be well aware, Ayurvedic concept of everything starts from healthy digestion. So my recommendation is, if your digestion is not in control, there is no point in going for fancy diet, fancy exercise classes. Sort that out first.
Mhm. Thank you so much. Can I ask a question, if that's okay? I think it'll be useful for our participants. So Ramadan's coming soon next week. I know often when it's iftar time, people can, opt into the unhealthy options to break their fast. For example, there's a lot of fried food, etc. What would you suggest to people that they should include in their diet when they're breaking their fast? And any tips on that?
That's a very good question, because traditionally, yeah, I grew up very close to Muslim community as a child. So traditionally, I am completely aware that there is a dates. Start with the dates, nuts. So healthy food. You break that fast with. And what I would suggest is, now learning, it would be a good idea to break the fast like 30 minutes before you eat your food. Have glass of water at room temperature, and then uh, because Ramadan and fasting is more of just a physical form of fasting. It's more about the spiritual.
Yeah.
And most of my friends, they experience that they are not starving for the food.
Mm-hmm.
But some of people who are actually feeling that physical hunger, so it's better to have, so during the when you are breaking the fast, have water or have a juice, like fresh juice, vegetable juice, or added, it can be, um,
Like a
if you,
smoothie.
huh?
Would you suggest like a smoothie with lots of vegetables and fruits?
So depending on, for some people, smoothies are digested, or some people, they are intolerant because of excessive fiber.
Okay.
Yeah. So and that again comes from the Ayurvedic perspective. Like if it is a vata constitute, so the air constitute people, they are not able to digest a smoothie. So you have to, the juice is easy to digest.
Mhm.
Um, Simple lemon, apple, um, and if any vegetable like cucumber, how and then your agni, your fire, is set, it's not extreme,
It's
and then
taste.
yeah, it's stem,
Mhm.
and then you'll be able to enjoy the iftar meal with your family.
Perfect. So break your fast with a glass of water, drink the water first, or fresh juice before you consume food.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That was very, very useful. So we're going to wrap things up now, if that's okay. So thank you so much to everyone for your excellent questions. And thank you, Pranita, for giving us your time. If anyone wants to have a private chat, you can just put it in the chat, and then we can make a group with that. But if not, we'll end it there. Do you have any final remarks? Yeah, of course.
Yes. So whoever had joined this talk, I would really encourage, I would love for your interaction. Do join me on LinkedIn, because that's where my social media I'm very much active in.
Mhm.
And love to hear what your feedback from this talk over there. And any questions, I'm more than, because it's my purpose. I feel like, in my model I shared, your meaning and purpose. My meaning and purpose, because I suffered myself the loss from the metabolic condition, is to actually inspire people for positive lifestyle. And it goes more beyond than weight loss and calorie counting. Great.
For sure. Thank you so much, Pranita. Thanks for that. I've loved the talk. Thank you. So we put in the chat, Dr. Inam has kindly put your Instagram, and there's also a website. We'll send out your website details as well as your LinkedIn profile to all the participants. And thank you so much. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you. My LinkedIn is here. Yeah, Pranita Salunke. You can
Yeah.
because I'm not much on the Instagram.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. Perfect. Thanks a lot.
Great day. And thank
Bye.
you for joining, everyone.
Bye. You too. Take care. Thanks everyone for joining.